So I was on Twitter there, guys, and I saw a tweet from Rhett Creighton. Now, I don't follow him anymore. I don't want to support him, and quite frankly, I don't even want to do videos about him. But I think this is quite important, and this was something I wanted to talk about. I did a video about Bitcoin Private last week, and they fired him. You can see here 4 days ago it was actually. They fired Rhett Creighton, and you can see in the title there, I said this is good news, and I truly believe it was good news. This guy was not good for Bitcoin Private. He's, you know, he got fired. He was ready, you know, he's already talking about pumping another coin. He's forking another coin. It's like 4 coins in a year. This guy is a cancer, and I don't think it's good for him to be involved with Bitcoin Private. And I actually think it reflects very highly on the Bitcoin Private team that they have fired him. That was, you know, it's not an easy decision to make to fire your founder. It's obviously something that they had to, you know, take a step back and look at all the pros and cons. But they made the decision. The price dumped, but it's, you know, it's slowly going back up. But I do believe long term it was the right decision. But the tweet I came across today, if it loads up, for some reason it's not showing there. Right, there it's there. People want me to hand over btcprivate.org to Crypto Jake's Bitcoin Private Corporation. That would make Bitcoin Private more centralized. Being decentralized makes it stronger. People need to learn this. What that means is Bitcoin Private fired Rhett before they took control of the domain name. That is a major, major mistake. That is like the silliest kind of beginner mistake I've ever seen in my life. I don't know the ins and outs of what happened, you know, as far as, you know, the firing, as far as this, you know, how the Bitcoin Private is structured as a team. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on in the background as far as the firing, as far as, you know, if he's owed any money. I don't know. I really don't know. But what I do know is that if you are, you know, you're an organization, you have to keep control of the domain name. And if you do choose to fire someone, they shouldn't have full access to that. Now, you guys might not know of my background, but I've been involved in website development since 2000, and I've been writing articles about domain names and websites and all that kind of thing for about 19 years now. You'll find lots of articles from me about domain names over the years sporadically. This is one I did a couple of years ago. Make sure you always control your domain names. And the reason I publish articles like this is because I see time and time and time again companies, big companies as well, you'll be surprised at the size of companies who mess up. They forget to renew their domain. They leave their domain name with you know, an old hosting company. They can't get it back. All these kind of problems arise. And I know you guys don't want to hear this, and I know Bitcoin Private ambassadors don't like any kind of fear. But in all seriousness, guys, this is a major, major mistake. They've really messed up here, and I don't think this is going to end well. It's going to take time. The reason I'm saying this is, I mean, if you look at what he's saying here, Bitcoin Private is more decentralized. Now, he's trying to swing this and try to paint this picture that he's doing this for the community. This guy doesn't care. Let's be honest, he doesn't care. And he's saying that this is good, right? I own a thing, why don't you give me your card? Now, as far as that, I actually think he's quite right in that regards. He's actually saying, like, I own the domain, why should I give it somewhere else? And there's a lot of people complaining and all this. Now, I can't see, there's a tweet here. He says at one point that he will direct it to bitcoinprivate.org, to the website, so they don't have to worry. Now, from a legal point of view, they would have to take him to court. They would have to take him to court because this guy isn't going to just hand over the domain. He's made that perfectly clear. And you could argue that it's within his rights to do that. I mean, can you imagine if you owned a domain name and then a company fires you without even talking to you, and then they ask for the domain name back? You're like, nah, I bought it. I registered it. It's my domain. What are you going to do? They would have to take him to court, and taking him to court, well, then this becomes, you know, who does it belong to? Is he the true owner of Bitcoin Private? Are they the true owner of Bitcoin Private? Were they right to fire him? Does he need to be compensated for being fired? All these kind of things would have to come out. As I said, I really don't know what's going on in the background as far as the team structure and all that, but I do know that they shouldn't have allowed one person, even the founder, to own the domain name. The domain name should have been held with the Bitcoin private. I don't know how they've got it. You know, I don't know if they've set up as a limited company. He said it's a corporation, but I don't know how they've got it set up as a foundation or whatever. I don't know that. But whoever, you know, whatever entity they've set up for Bitcoin private, that entity should have owned the domain name, not one person, not Jake, not Rhett, not anyone else in the team. It has to be, you know, it has to belong to the corporation or to the organization itself. They have really made a big mistake here, guys. I've seen many stories about this, and if you know, if Rhett, you know, digs his heels in and doesn't want to sell, there's nothing you can do. Now, he did say that, hey, this is for decentralization. I don't believe this kind of thing. You know, this is the thing. Is this guy really doing it for the greater good? Is he really doing it for the cryptocurrency community? He's not. He's not. Of course he's not. Now, human nature, if you get fired, obviously you're not going to just hand something over like that. But he did say that he's going to direct it to the website. But that's just now. There would be nothing stopping him, and you know, in a couple of months' time, just redirecting bitcoinprivate.org, the domain name, directly to his new coin, Bitcoin Prime, whatever it's called. He could just redirect it to that. He could just redirect it to that and do, you know, whatever he wants to do it. So I was really surprised at this, guys. I think that the Bitcoin private team should be commended for firing him for what he did, because I think that the way he's acting, I think it was a very negative influence on the coin. And you know, the stories are coming out now. Even on the day of the fork, he was refusing to do interviews and all this. So yeah, I obviously don't know all the ins and outs of what's going on in the background, but when you hear of all the stories coming out from the developers, firing him was the right decision, and without doubt, I don't think it would have been an easy decision, but they did it. But as far as the domain name goes, they have really messed up. Now, how do they do this? He isn't going to give this domain up easily. I don't think he is. And you could argue that he shouldn't give it up easily. He bought it, he registered it, he founded it, you know, and the mistake they made is not transferring it over to the organization. So what can they do? Well, they could take him to court. That would be one option. They could take him to court to try and get the domain name, but they have to justify them taking them to court. And this is where it could get a little bit, you know, the waters could get a little bit muddy, because he did found it. He is the founder. And he does, you know, he could just say he is the true organization of Bitcoin Private. And then you've got all these lawyers who really don't know anything about cryptocurrency try to determine who is the rightful owner. And these things don't happen overnight. They take years, these kind of things. Another option would be to register a different domain name. You know, bitcoinprivate.com or whatever. You could find a different domain name, and they could inform everyone that that is the true organization. They could ask Rhett to redirect it, but I don't know. But really, the big mistake that Bitcoin Private have made is that they didn't take control of their own domain name. They left it with the founder and then fired him. That's a really... and I mean, the thing is, you know, from that kind of side, I think everyone can relate to Rhett and that kind of side. Now, can you imagine that if you, say, founded a company, you had the domain name, and then they fired you without compensation, without any kind of, you know, process? You just get fired, and you didn't even get a chance to state your claim as to what you were doing. I'm not saying he was right, but, you know, look at it from his point of view. He got fired. He's maybe bitter about it. I'm sure he is bitter about it. And then they say, hey, can you give us a domain name? You're like, no, you're not getting it. I'm not saying what he's doing is right, but put yourself in his position. He was fired. I assume he's bitter. As I said, the big mistake that Bitcoin Private have made, guys, is the fact that they didn't take control of their own domain name. That is a rookie mistake, and I think, unfortunately, it could cost them if Rhett decides to be Rhett. His track record isn't good, guys. So if he decides in the future to just redirect the website to Bitcoin Prime or whatever, he could do that, and there's nothing they could do without taking him to court. And then that takes a lot of time, takes a lot of energy, takes a lot of money. And if he was going to be that petty, he could. So we'll see what happens. You know, I really don't know much about what's happening in the background and all that. Maybe we'll just hand the domain name over. Maybe he'll sell it to them for a fair price. He's saying this decentralization thing. Smoke and mirrors, guys. It's smoke and mirrors. So yeah, I'm disappointed to see that. I just feel bad for the Bitcoin Private team, to be honest. It's kind of a rookie mistake, but I realise some of these guys are developers and they've not been involved in, you know, websites and stuff like that. So maybe they weren't really thinking about it from that point of view. But I've been following these kind of stories for, you know, 19 years or whatever, and they never end well. They're always, you know, they always take a lot of time to go over. This guy has all the keys to the kingdom as far as the website domain goes. And there's nothing you can do to change that. The only person who can change that right now is Rhett. And what do you think Rhett's going to do? Right, guys, so let me know what you think about this. Let me know what you think. Leave a comment below. And hopefully Bitcoin Private are able to resolve this in an amicable way. Hopefully I'm wrong. It doesn't look good. Doesn't look good in my eyes. So thanks for watching, guys. I do appreciate it, and I'll speak to you all in the next one. Take care.